Rabbit, rabbit, January 1st, 2016. Happy New Year. So here we are, and it's New Year's Day, 2016. And if you said rabbit, rabbit before you said anything else, you're so lucky. Well, somebody wished I'd shut up, and they got their wish, didn't they? Little laryngitis. So here we are. It's January 1st, and I don't know if you make resolutions, if you have goals, if you write them down, or if you go backwards and look at your goals and say, oh, did that, got that, achieved that, lost that. That would be cool, huh? So I've been reading some of the comments, and some of you have made it through the holidays with not only not gaining, but you've lost some. How awesome is that? Especially if you're an older woman like me and you've made it through the holidays and you've got a down arrow on the scale. That is just so awesome. Congratulations. Good for you. You work hard for it, like we all do. Okay, so here we are. If you've been naughty or nice, you can still watch. If you've been naughty, what have you been naughty about? Your food, not tracking, eating standing up, eating on the go, drive-through diet? What is it? What is going to change? Now, I know that for me, whenever I did food, like I'm just going to eat this and then, I'm going to stop and, lose everything I ever wanted to lose. Excuse me, it was always January 2nd. Because anybody that says January 1st is the end, they're crazy, because there could be brunches, there could be leftover New Year's Eve things, and a whole bunch of things. And we had our wedding last night that we went to, and it was absolutely delightful, and they excelled in appetizers. And if you've been listening to me, you know I don't partake in appetizers because they are, for me, scary, bad neighborhood stuff. Why? Because I'm planning on eating the dinner. And so shoving these appetizers, and they had a lot, and they had some good ones. And then they had a raw veggie and fruit bar. It was really nicely done. And so I captured some red peppers to go along with my entree. I figured I'd chop them up and put them on my salad. They were strips. And one of the servers came by and was talking, and she said, are you all done with those? And I said, oh no, I'm saving those for dinner. And she did the, oh, good for you, and it was just kind of funny. So yes, I did put them on my salad. And they had a pasta station and a carving station, and at the carving station they had roast beef that had no appeal to me whatsoever, because it looked kind of well done and dry, but they had this salmon that was smoked warm, and it was absolutely delicious. So I had 3 ounces of that with, they had a caprese salad, but it wasn't heavily dressed. So actually I just worked around it and took some of the, the baby leaves of spinach and romaine, or, lettuces, and I had my own salad dressing, of course, with a little blue cheese. Didn't even use it all, just enough to wet it. Because they're smart. They use small plates, so you couldn't fit a lot on it. So after sitting through the hour and a half, no kidding, of appetizers and watching people get heavily oiled up with the open bar, which was totally fascinating for me, being a recovering alcoholic, then it was finally the mealtime. And so, I didn't overeat because they did table by table to the stations. And so there was always, 10 people waiting at the station for the first time. So all in all, it was great. And then they had the top layer of a wedding cake, and then she chose cupcakes, and they were Bavarian cream. And that sounded really, really good. And I was thinking, rare and appropriate. Well, we packed 2 to go home. Greg wanted the chocolate, and I wanted the vanilla. And no, I didn't sleep on it. But it was made with hydrogenated vegetable shortening. And so it was not made with buttercream, which I was so hoping for. I was not going to have the cake part, just the frosting part as a rare and appropriate treat. But that's it. Gave them both to Greg. And I had a tablespoon of coconut oil and a tablespoon of cashew butter waiting for my coconut butter to come from Amazon on the 1st. And so, I mean on the 4th, on Monday. So I had that and it was satisfying, and it was a deviation from the plan, but it was a much better choice. And today I feel great because I didn't overeat yesterday and I didn't have things that they served for appetizers that look good on paper. But, you know, I was listening to each person complain, oh, wicked salty, oh, too hot, oh. And it was great to not feel, you know, triggered to have more. And so anyway, that feels good coming into January 1st, excuse me, rabbit, waking up and knowing that my last meals were abstinent, and I like that. And I like being abstinent to my tracker, and what I put in my tracker works for me. What you put in yours should work for you. And I was in the bathroom. God, I love weddings. Such a people-observing time. And there were 3 women there, don't you know, and they had all the glitter and the bangles on because it's, you know, for New Year's Eve, and we could dress up for the party with the bling-bling. And they were all a little bit chunky. They were all like my age, and they were all talking about, you know, what is it with all these food allergies today? And, you know, I mean, you see these celiacs and these gluten people and, you know, all these people that have all these requirements. What's up with them? And then a couple of them were adding, you know, anecdotes about people that they know, you know, that are not eating wheat. And, you know, so I went to this party and they had a gluten-free cake and it was awful. It was just awful. How do those people eat that stuff? Well, I was just lapping it up, you know. And of course, some of you know my views that gluten-free flours are going to be just worse, actually. The wheat part won't bother your belly if it's gluten-free, but the cornstarch, potato starch, tapioca starch, and even gluten-free, whatever flours they use in gluten-free flour, will spike your blood sugar worse than the wheat flour. So, anyway, if I do ever dabble in a bakery item that I make myself, thank you very much, it will be made with coconut flour, or which does not come from a grain, or almond meal flour, which does not come from a grain. And so I might attempt that one day, who knows. I used the coconut flour for the egg parm that I made, and it was divine. So here we are, it's January 1st, we're entering a new year of promise and hope. All is forgiven for 2015, and today's the day. Today's the day. Okay, maybe you have to get through one more brunch where they have things. Somebody commented on one of my pages that they're still eating little wheat crackers and having things on it, and they're triggered all over the place still. And it's like, well, cut out the wheat. Try not having the little wheat crackers, because wheat and sugar have these built-in triggers inside of them. They kick in your appetite. They make you say you want more. So going clean from sugar, added sugar, and wheat products, even if they seem harmless, even if they're Smart Points approved, will begin to work on killing the beast, killing that monster, killing the trigger, the craving, the obsession, the bad habit, and then finally, if you're like me, you're a food addict, and so you really don't have any choice, so you really shouldn't have been doing it anyway. And so, you know, there's better bad choices than wheat and sugar for all of us, even the smart people. And so I hope that you make a commitment, not so much to lose weight or lose the weight you put on, but to understand the part of your program that really, really matters. What triggers your appetite and keeps you either not losing or gaining? What is it, unless you're on maintenance? So what is it you might be having what you think are harmless things. I've watched a couple of people, their sites and their comments, and they used to have full fat and now they're back to fat free with the smart points so they can fit in what they're having. And I just caution people because of the processed part. The processes they use to make something fat free is using chemicals and all kinds of things. And fat satiates. So just beware of that. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm just telling you, if you're still hungry, that try high fat items, smaller portions, high fat, and you will see, like a full fat piece of cheese, a full fat Greek yogurt. Have the whole egg, not just egg whites. Understand that your body does get satisfied. In the 50s, we weren't worried about this. We got in front of the TV with Jack LaLanne, and we did our little exercise with our little strapped leotards, like he wore, with our chairs and our pliés, and we didn't really worry too much about what we ate. It wasn't until the 70s and the 80s that they said fat is bad for you, and then they started making the fat-free items. When did the fattening of America and the world begin? The French fries used to be made with tallow, beef fat, at McDonald's, and they were the best. And then they decided that that wasn't healthy. And so they went to hydrogenated fats, and those are the worst things for you. So, it's just kind of funny. Don't think that these ADA and FDA and the food pyramid is for your benefit. It benefits the food industry and the agribusiness. Okay? And somebody found out for me that, yes, it's a lobbyist that makes all the money promoting and keeping things in Congress, which would be the way that the standard American diet is. Because there's billions and billions and billions at stake with all the food processors and then all the food manufacturers. And there is a difference. The food processors put all the horrible stuff in it. They don't care. They're for their bottom line. And the food manufacturers make things with their processed foods. They buy them. Maybe it's the same company. And then they market them. And all those things you see in boxes and cans, like stovetop stuffing, read the back of that. Read the back of Coffee Mate. Read the back of Half and Half. Read the back of fat-free milk. Maybe there's nothing written there, but these things aren't healthy for you. You need to become ingredient aware. One of my nutrition classes in January with my sugar smackdown with my women is the 68 types of sugar that they insert into foods, and like making aspartame a healthy sugar substitute. I mean, think of what the lobbyists are doing on Capitol Hill to get these things through. Those of us that know, we may not be mainstream, but we certainly understand the dangers of certain foods that are pushed on us as okay, as natural. They might not be. Truvia, processed 47 times. The green leaf goes to the white powder. Well, how do you think they do it? It doesn't sit in the sun and they turn white, and then they crush it and they give it to you. They do lots and lots of things to this okay for you sugar, and it's processed 47 times. So if you have any goals, or if you're seeking a goal, make it to be aware of ingredients in those things. Aim for single ingredient things. An apple, a blueberry, a raspberry, 3 or 4 ounces of grass-fed beef. The healthy things. And organic, unrefined, cold-pressed coconut oil. Cashew butter without stuff. If you're having peanut butter, have it with just peanuts. Don't have it with safflower oil. I've seen so many peanut butters with that. Fake sugars. Turn that little cute little jar around and read what the ingredients are. Be good to yourself. You will see the difference. Your body holds on to artificial ingredients. Do some research on it. Don't think that I'm just a whack job. Well, I am. But, I do some research. I'm suggesting you do too. So here we are. This is a long one, but, before you go to that brunch, watch this. And as you take your last bite of the FDA has GRAS things, generally regarded as safe. So as you take your last GRAS bite of food, just know that it might not be generally regarded as safe for you, being somebody that wants to put good things in your body and lose the weight or maintain the weight that you've lost. Have a wonderful day. I have it off. I hope you guys do too. See you the next time. Bye-bye for now.